Hey, Andrew. Just wondering, like, I know you played USHL, right? Junior before college, and then you played obviously in the AHL. How much fighting experience did you have before this season?
This season was my first ones.
Okay, so I mean, how was that a whole experience for you when you get into a fight in the NHL? Have you talked to other people that maybe have more experience as to how to manage those kind of situations?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like anything, practice takes perfect. Practice makes perfect. So, like I said, the season's kind of been my first fights, and the way I play the game, I mean, it's going to be inevitable that it's going to happen at some points, and yeah, just learn from each one and keep growing.
Is that something an area that before this season, when you looked at this season, that you kind of identified, not just fighting, but just being more physical and knowing that that's, like you said, that's kind of an offshoot of being more physical. Is that something that you wanted to step up this season to try and make the team?
Yeah, definitely. I think, in general, I think it helps my game grow as an individual. And obviously, when you can add an edge or a physical element in your game, it's important in this type of game. I mean, obviously, it's a physical game to begin with, but yeah, for me, I think it helps me excel on the ice, and I realize that there's opportunity there for a player like that. So I just try to make the most of it and come in every night and add that element to my game.
Yeah, fighting itself is it's not going completely out of the game, obviously, but it's not maybe like as prevalent as it was 5, 10 years ago, that kind of thing, or even longer. Um, but I mean, like, how often are you? I mean, are guys still off face-offs asking you to dance a little bit, or like last night, it just seemed like it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all situational based. Last night it kind of just happened, and you don't really have too much time to think. It just kind of happens, like you said. Yeah, I think it's all situational based. It's obviously not as prevalent as it was, few years back, but it's still a huge part of the game. It helps change momentum for one team or the other, and I don't think that'll truly ever get out of the sport, and I think guys really appreciate it.
Yeah, you get Bowl and well, Jody Shelley's around here as well. Have you talked to either one of those guys about that aspect of the game and maybe techniques or tips?
Yeah, I was actually chatting with Bowler last night. Yeah, we'll get some work in, and you know, like I said, keep growing.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Madison. Good afternoon, Andrew. What's the vibe like when you get back to the bench after a scrap? I've always heard guys say it's equal to scoring a goal sometimes in terms of how fired up guys are.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the guys appreciate it. When I'm on the bench and someone else gets in a fight, um, it takes guts, and it shows, the guys are willing to play and willing to care for each other, and step into the ring and fight. So I've always appreciated it when someone else has fought and come back to the bench, and I think it's part of hockey, and guys really appreciate those types of things.
I have a very serious question for you now, Andrew. What does your mom think of this? What's your mom think of her guy throwing knuckles on the hockey rink?
She just hopes that I'm okay, as any
Yeah.
mother would, I think.
Does she watch, or does she kind of go get a drink at that point?
I think she watches it, but once the replay comes on, I think that's when she turns her head.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Andrew, beyond the fighting, just how important was the compete level last night? How much do you guys need to step it up tomorrow? And just how important is that to overall success when you guys are winning battles and playing, not necessarily fighting every shift, but playing a competitive physical brand of hockey?
Yeah, I mean, it's crucial to our group. I think most importantly, you saw in the third period, I think for, a good 20 minutes there, we put a period together of, competing and battling. That effort level was really there. And I think it reflected in the game. And, it's huge for us to get that goal and find a way to win last night, because, those are the types of games, coming off a little break here and finding a way to win, especially in front of a crowd like that, it helps motivate the guys. It's a good feeling in the locker room.
it appeared to me that when they got the two quick ones at the end of the second period, that you guys were able to regain a little bit of the momentum before the period ended and then carried into the third because you got back to that. Is that a correct assessment of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's never ideal giving up two quick ones, and giving them the lead. But we knew we needed to build off, something to get into the intermission and build off something to get into the third period. And, it shows the resiliency in that room. We've been on the other side of it a couple times, and for us to get a win like that, it's really important for us.
Thanks, Andrew.
We'll go to Brian Becker. Go ahead, Brian.
Andrew, for a long time, a lot of people considered maybe the benchmark for a defenseman in the NHL being like 300 games, before you really, have experienced just about every situation you can experience out there, that kind of thing. This is really your first year of being in that lineup pretty much every single night. How much are you learning on a game-to-game basis, maybe even a shift-to-shift basis out there?
Yeah, there's something new every game. I just try to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, rewatch my shifts and just learn from it. Kind of like what you said, being a defenseman, everything happens in front of you. And, like I said, there's something new that comes your way. And, it's just learning on a game to game basis. There's going to be mistakes here and there. It's just how to find a way to minimize that and, play your game to the best ability on a nightly basis, be consistent. So for me, I'm just learning and, getting that experience and just trying to build my game night in, night out.
How much are you enjoying it, especially after, kind of a tough season last year trying to get on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been good, being able to play every night, making an impact on this team and, improving my game, the growth and development of myself. It's a great feeling and, being around the guys every day, we have such a good group in there and it's been really awesome so far this season and hopefully we can get on a little win streak here.
You guys have a number of puck moving defensemen, obviously a little smaller than yourself. But you have Gavrikov there as well, another bigger guy. Are there other guys on the defense that you find yourself, watching when you're on the bench and trying to, say, hey, maybe I can adapt that to my game?
Yeah, sure. I mean, everyone's unique in their own way. Gavy's so strong defensively with his stick, his ability to close on players. You look at Beener and, his ability to get pucks through on net and walk the blue line and make plays like that. And, you have Z, Boki, Gabe. I mean, everyone brings their own, unique elements to their game that they're really good at. So I think everyone, you try and learn from each other and, you watch what they do and, maybe someone watches what I do and tries to, implement that in their game. So we're a really close group back there and just trying to help each other and, find ways to win games.